I have a coffee shop near my office that I go to when I need to think. Not the expensive places on the island, the small one on the side streets where the chairs do not match and the coffee is better than anywhere that costs 3 times as much. I have been going there for 2 years. I thought I was the only one who knew about it. On the Thursday after the broken bus, I walked into my coffee shop and he was there, the man from the bus, sitting at my usual table with my usual order already in front of him, like the universe had decided subtlety was not working and was going to try something more direct. Stay with me. I need to tell you what happened between Tuesday and Thursday because it matters. What happened was nothing. I walked. I argued about the font again. I ate jollof rice at my desk on Wednesday. Ordinary things. But in the middle of ordinary things, I kept thinking about a conversation on a broken bus, which was inconvenient and also ridiculous, and I told myself to stop. I made the mistake of telling Funke. I say mistake because Funke took approximately 4 seconds to decide that I was in love with a stranger from a broken bus and spend the next 40 minutes building our entire future together. I said, Funke, I do not even know his name. She said that is basically the most romantic thing she had ever heard. I went to bed and then I lay in the dark and I thought, I do not even know his name. I thought about the way he listened, about the small thing that happened on his face when I said the view helps everything else, about how he did not try to impress me with anything. He just existed beside me, simply. And then the bus moved, and that was the end of it. I told myself that firmly, the end. I did not know any of this then. But on that Tuesday after the bus, Toby walked into his office and his assistant said 12 people had been waiting for him. He sat in back-to-back meetings until 8 p.m. and in every single gap between meetings, his mind went back to a conversation about fonts on a bridge. He told me this later. He said it was inconvenient. I told him I understood completely. He had been alone by choice for 3 years, not from grief from a decision. Someone he trusted had used his trust as currency, had taken everything he offered genuinely and traded it for things he would never have agreed to give. After that, he had decided people were transactions. Everything was a transaction, and transactions were manageable, people were not. He had been very comfortable with that decision until Thursday morning. I needed coffee and I needed quiet and I needed the mismatched chairs and the woman behind the counter who never asks me how my day is going because she respects that I am a person who is not ready to answer that question. Before 9 a.m., I pushed open the door and I stopped. He was at my table, my exact table, the one by the window with the slightly uneven leg that I always fix with a folded napkin. He had not fixed it with a napkin. His coffee was slightly tilted and he had not noticed because he was writing in an actual notebook with an actual pen like it was 2003. He looked up. We looked at each other. And the first thing I thought was, Lagos is not this small. Something moved across his face that I catalogued carefully and stored away for later examination. It was not just surprise. There was something underneath the surprise that I could not name immediately. I would spend quite a lot of time over the following weeks trying to name it, but that is a later episode. The only other free table was the one directly beside his. I sat down. Mama BC behind the counter was already making my order. Black coffee, no sugar, chin chin on the side, because she has been making it for 2 years and we have a system. I sat down and I looked at the table and I said, "You are at my table." He said, "I did not see a name on it." I said, "The tilted leg is my name." He looked at the tilted coffee and he laughed. Quietly, not for anyone else, just for himself. And I thought, there it is again. That thing on his face from the bus, that door opening just slightly. I picked up my coffee when it arrived and I looked at his notebook and I said, "Who uses a notebook in 2024? He said, "Someone who does not want what he is thinking to end up in a cloud somewhere." I thought that was either very wise or very paranoid, possibly both. We talked for an hour. I was late for work again. I did not care as much as I should have. He told me he came to this coffee shop twice a week. I told him I came every day. He said, "I have never seen you here." I said, "I have never seen you here either." We both thought about what that meant. Neither of us said it out loud. I stood to leave, and something was different from the bus. On the bus, the ending had been clean. My stop came, and I got off, and that was the structure of it. Here, there was no structure. Here, I was choosing to leave, and I was aware of choosing it in a way I had not been aware of anything in a long time. He said, "I did not get your name on Tuesday." I said, "You did not ask." He said, "I am asking now." I looked at him for a moment and I said, "Zara." He said, "Toby." Simple, clean. 2 names exchanged in a coffee shop on a Thursday morning. And somehow with those 2 words, something that had been accidental became intentional. And intentional is a completely different thing. I walked out onto that side street and the Lagos morning hit me the way it always does, loud and warm and completely indifferent to whatever you are feeling. And I was smiling. I noticed I was smiling. I told myself it was about the coffee. It was not about the coffee. Behind me in that shop, a man was closing his notebook. And he was also doing something his face had not done in 3 years without being surprised by it. He was looking forward to Friday. Episode 3 is coming. Subscribe to Moonlight Tales by Joy so you never miss it. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday. Like this video if Zara and Toby are already living in your head. Share it with someone who needs a beautiful story. And tell me in the comments, do you think Toby is going to tell her who he really is? I read every single one.